KFDI, good morning.
Hey, it's Joe Gatto.
Joe Gatto, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Really fantastic, thanks. From Impractical Jokers to Misery Index to Two Cool Moms podcast, Joe Gatto going to be in town December 7th. That's next week at the Orpheum. Of all the pranks you've done over the years, give me one of your top 10 favorites.
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, there's been so many over time, but a standout for me for sure is, Scoopski potatoes. When I threw the potatoes around at people when I was serving mashed potatoes in that restaurant. I just went with my gut and decided, let me cause some major chaos here with these potatoes.
Your Two Cool Moms podcast. You find funny ways to toss out sage, motherly advice. But what's that one bit of advice you ignored from your mom as a kid?
Oh, very fun. Very, very good question. I listened to my mom a lot, but it did take me a while to get my sharp wit under control without coming off like a jerk. So my mother would always tell me, she'd always say, her good advice, and it always sticks with me now, is make sure everyone is laughing. Because you don't want to be making fun of one person and everybody's laughing at that person.
Okay.
You want to make sure that everybody's laughing. So I think that's a really good piece of advice. It took me a little while.
It really is. Yeah, I wish I had listened to my mom about money matters.
Don't we all?
Oh, my God, bless. She told me to save my money. I'm like, sure. You got $10? I can go down to the arcade? Yeah, nothing. Okay, fill in the blank. I'm surprised I didn't end up in jail. When?
I worked on television for 10 years with that show.
And there's the answer I was hoping. Because honestly, there were some situations in Impractical Jokers where I'm watching, I'm going, how does he not get arrested?
Oh, well, it was funny because you really get to, use your people skills and get people to come along for the ride. And I will say overall, I was definitely more surprised at how down people were just to be silly and have fun. I remember one specifically where we had to play janitors and convince people that we were looking for a raise, but there weren't enough messes, so people had to make a mess for us. And I remember talking a woman into dropping a gallon of milk, and she was like, sure. And she's like, let me walk over there to look more believable. She did like a whole thing. It was very funny. People are out there to have a good time. I think.
When they buy in, it makes it even better, for sure.
For sure.
Do you miss doing Impractical Jokers?
Yeah, I mean, it's, such a big part of my life, and working with my best friends to make people laugh was a hell of a gig. So for sure, there's days that I miss it, but I was fortunate enough to do that for basically a decade of my life, and I'm so proud of the legacy that show has. Nice.
Would you ever consider going back?
I mean, you never say never. You don't know what the future holds, but as of right now, I don't see it in the card.
Okay, yeah, because you're busy doing this comedy tour. I want to thank you for being a big supporter of animal rescue with your nonprofit, Gatto Pups and Friends. I think that's super important. And I love how you focused on senior dogs.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're the most overlooked and still have the most of love to give. I mean, there's nothing like seeing these dogs come in and they're, neglected and just haven't had the right amount of love that they needed, and they just come back to their lovable, tail wagging selves, and it's really amazing to see. And I feel like it's some important work that needs to be done, and I've been really enjoying it. It's good that the fans have come along to support me, not only in my comedy endeavors, but with my philanthropy as well. It's just been such an amazing thing.
Yeah, and staying with the dogs, you got your book, The Dog Father, My Love of Dogs, Dessert, Growing Up Italian. How many dogs do you have?
So the Gatto Pups are 9, and the End Friends is the ones that are we adopt out and whatnot. So that ranges anywhere from 15 to 20, depending on how many we have in the sanctuary at the time. And we actually just adopted out our 56th dog to a family last weekend. Yeah, so Cinnamon Roll went out and found a family, which was amazing.
Nice.
So it's been really great.
Yeah, you're doing good work. Ever read the book Dog Trippin'?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's about a bunch of rescuers, and it starts with this one guy, like 25, I think they were golden retrievers, on the West Coast, and they had to get them to the East Coast in Maine, and it was this whole journey of portable fences and multiple volunteers and multiple stops along the way. Wow. It's a brilliant book, and I thought of you and your story, and if you haven't read it, look up Dog Trippin'. It's really good.
I will. That's an amazing story.
All right. You're a big supporter also of anti-bullying messaging and projects. Were you bullied as a kid, or is it just you support it because it's simply just the right dang thing to do?
Well, I'll tell you what I was into, and you let me know if you think I was bullied. I was on the math team. I was a math team.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I was on the bowling team.
Okay.
I was the captain of the strike force. I mean, what do you think?
Tell me you were bullied without telling me you were bullied.
Yeah. No, I did, but it was, I had a very different experience with it because I went to an all-boy Catholic high school, so it was all boys, and I had a couple, people there, and I just decided one day to knock the books out of one of the big football players' hands. and tell him to pick them up. And he went along with it. And he kind of did like a funny reverse bullying thing that like spread throughout the school. And he was a good sport and showed some kindness. And it really made like a cool bonding experience for our class. So, I think it was very important to me to realize that. And as I got older and realized how I'd been there for people with my show and my comedy to make them forget sometimes how bad life could be, I felt really important to talk about that messaging and, help, younger children or especially high schoolers as they're developing the people they're going to be to remember it's important to be kind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate you doing that. As someone who was like in 7th grade, I remember this kid and his friends wanted to meet, typical meet me after school. They were going to beat the snot out of me. And I ran. I found a secret way home, and I was scared to death. But hearing your story, looking back, I guess if I had to do it all over again, maybe I would have confronted him. I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. But you are where you are. So what are you going to do?
Exactly. What's your guilty pleasure?
Probably video games.
Okay.
I steal some time for myself. It's probably video games.
What are you playing?
Probably one of my. I'm super into the Mario right now, the new Mario Wonder that came out for Switch. I do it on the road when I'm flying and whatnot, and in the hotel rooms. And me and Mario hang out.
Nice. My wife actually just got me a Switch. I got to spend more time with it. So
you do. It's fun. It's very nostalgic. This game too. I feel like it's very old school Mario that I grew up with. So it's really fun.
I love it. Best cannoli you ever had?
There's a lot of great cannolis, I'll say, across this map. There are some great ones in Boston that have found themselves to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker, so one of my favorite things was when we got to film in Ferraras in Little Italy. And oh my goodness, what a great one. But I will say one of the best ones is here in my neighborhood. There's St. Rocco's is a bakery not too far from my home out in Glen Cove, Long Island, and they do some great work.
Nice. I know you like pastries. Do you try? Are you like an amateur baker or a good at-home baker? Do you like to make your pastries?
Oh no, I'm a very seasoned eater. I'm on the other end.
Look, somebody's got to be, right?
I cook, but I don't bake.
All right, fair enough. All right, so what's next after the tour? What are you working on for 2024, 2025?
2024, I'm going to have a kid's book coming out, which is great. I'm really excited about. I worked with Penguin Publishing on a kid's book, on a story based with my son, which has been really fun to do. I had it illustrated by a very talented illustrator, so I'm excited about that. And going to continue my dream of being a movie and director and writer. That's what I got into this business to do. So I've been chasing that passion project for a little bit, and hopefully some stuff will come to fruition in 2024.
All right. I love that. I love that for you, and everyone should follow what they're passionate about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Life's too short, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. Joe Gatto, December 7th at the Orpheum. That's next week. We look forward to having you here in Wichita. Very funny show, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.